I've decided that I want to do another 24-hour reading vlog, which I have not done this in a while because I have been so busy. I've been trying to do it like once a month because honestly it's really fun, but our life is so hectic right now. I don't know if I've actually told this to you guys, but we found out that our dog, he's 9, he has cancer, and so we've been driving him an hour and a half away to a vet that does like treatments, because they don't do treatments in our town. So every week Brady and I have to like make sure that he gets to the vet, and every other week we kind of like switch off. So like it's my week to take him right now, so I'm an hour and a half away from town. But what's nice about this town, and I feel like, again, I always try to find the good in things, this town has a bookstore that has it's a bookstore coffee shop, and it's such a cool concept, so I love going in there. So I'm gonna go into that bookstore coffee shop in a minute, but yeah, so like every other week I'm gonna be here exploring this town, and I don't know, I feel like this is just a good time to start this 24-hour reading vlog. And we also have like tons of stuff going on with our home renovation, and it's just been like a super busy time. As you can tell, I'm yawning and like tired. And I guess I just say all of those things to say that like everyone has things that are going on in their lives, and like even if you don't see it and it's not like front facing, it doesn't mean that someone's not like working through their own life experiences. So just remember that when you're around your coworkers or your siblings, your parents, your friends, like everyone has something that they are maybe struggling with or working through. And I feel like we should all just try to be kind to each other, because no matter how someone looks on the outside, it doesn't like really correlate to how they're like navigating through life and like what is hard for them. So anyway, I'm doing great because, again, I really do try to stay in like a good headspace, and I always think like things could be worse. Like thankfully we have like the financial like ability to get him the chemo, and I know that that's such a blessing. We also have the financial like not financial, but the flexibility in our job schedules, where like Brady, he owns a insurance office, so like he has employees that are there, but he can leave every other week and take him here, which is an hour and a half away. I have a very flexible job, so I can also do the same. And so I feel like anytime that something hard happens, which honestly these last few years have been wild, but anytime something hard happens, I always try to come back to the good, because there's always good within it somewhere and something to be grateful for. So long story short, I'm going to do a 24-hour reading vlog, and what inspired me to do that is being in this town where there is this bookstore slash coffee shop, because we don't have that in my town. And I'm going to start with this book, and I literally, let's see, I feel like this is going to be a good book to read because it is very short, but also it's by Christina C. Jones, and she has great writing. She's a super, like, I don't know, I've read one of her books behind the scenes and I really liked it, but I think what I liked more was the writing than the actual storyline of the last one. So I feel like I just need to find like my storyline, which this one looks like a good one. It's called I Think I Might Love You by Christina C. Jones. It's about a girl who she's just kind of like living her own life, and she meets this guy who I guess they just keep like getting drawn back to each other and like ending up in the same places. And I just am excited to read it. So there isn't really much on the back. It doesn't say very much. It's pretty vague, which is kind of nice because I like going into books kind of blind. So yeah, we are going to start this, but not until we get into the bookstore. I do want to make this 24-hour reading vlog like over a couple days, because life is so hectic right now that I don't want to like stress myself out trying to just like not shirk, but like let go of a lot of my duties that I know I need to do to read, because it's just not like super feasible for me right now. So I will probably do this over maybe a 3-day, 4-day, or 5-day span. Just kind of depends on like where I fall. But I want this to be a very like natural reading vlog. So yeah, let's get into it.
I'm driving, you're smiling, just really doing nothing. That's the thing I like about you. On the highway, it's our way, Route 66, and we keep on driving. We just do what we wanna do. Yeah, no, nothing's complicated. wanna make you repeat it and repeat it again. Yeah, you make the sky so blue. No, nothing's complicated with you. Hey, playing songs on the radio, sing along to the words that we don't know how. Brings out the hours. Let's just run away. Yeah, I could drive the whole night long. Being with you is like being on the rodeo house. Brings out the hours. I got a little crush on you.
The way I'm so serious when I say I literally only read for like 45 minutes today for this challenge. I started this challenge later in the day and literally 42 minutes or 44 minutes and 2 seconds. I started this challenge later in the day after I finished A Little Life, and so I think I read like 200 pages of this, but that's for another video that's been honestly going on forever, but it'll already be up now. So if you guys want my review of this and like the whole month it took me to read these 800 sad pages, you guys can head over to that video. But I read this early this morning, and I always wake up at 5 a.m. to read. So I finished this, but then whenever I was waiting on Bane at the vet, I started this book, and I only read 44 minutes, but it's so good. I'm at page 52 and it's really good. I usually read about 60 pages, I think, an hour. So, I mean, that's like right around what I normally like read. I'm not a fast reader. I just try to be very intentional about making sure that I like take time to read. I used to be a lot faster, but I feel like I've gotten slower as like I get on the internet and stuff more, because like I lose my attention span. But since I've started doing things like coloring and putting puzzles together, it's kind of sucked me back into like being okay, like not having my attention taken away from one thing. But yeah, so anyway, I did get some things while I was there. I bought some things, and then I also have some book mail of something that I ordered that just came in. So let me show you guys the non-bookish things that I bought. This is the coolest thing. It is from Fire Doll Store, and this is a candle company that's like woman owned. Now look at this candle, isn't this the coolest thing? It's strawberry cheesecake, literally smells like straight strawberry cheesecake, I'm not kidding. Looks like strawberry cheesecake, and it burns for 40 hours. And it just smells heavenly. I can literally smell it, just like not even putting it to my face. They also put some little matches in here if I want to use them that have Fire Doll on the front. And they also sell stuff online, so I will link it below. And I also bought this Cinnamon Toast Crunch candle, and it looks like Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Let me see if I can like get this to focus on there. Look at that. It's literally Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Like, isn't that the freaking coolest thing that you've ever seen? So, yeah, I really thought that this was like such a cool concept. Smells so good. It smells like Cinnamon Toast Crunch cereal. They had one that was ramen noodles. I shared that on my stories, and it literally smelled like ramen noodles. But I was like, I don't know if I want my house to smell like that. Straight smelled like noodles. So if you like ramen noodles, they have one of those that you can buy. Like a lot of different like random candle scents. Let me show you guys the book that I bought at the literary book bar. And it's such a cool concept in there. I got this book, and it's called Mad Honey by Jodi. I don't know how to say her last name. Someone please tell me, because I know it's not Picoult, but that's how it looks. But let me know how to say it, because I don't want to say it wrong. And by Jennifer Finney Boylan, and this was in the Good Morning America book club pick. And I've actually never read any of Jodi's books before, so I wanted to pick this up for that reason, because so many people are like, oh my god, you have to read like, you know, so I'm jumping in the bandwagon. But I'm going to read the inside. It says, a soul-stirring novel about what we choose to keep from our past and what we choose to leave behind. From the #1 New York Times bestselling author of Wish You Were Here and the bestselling author of She's Not There. Olivia McAfee knows what it feels like to start over. Her picture-perfect life, living in Boston, married to a brilliant cardiothoracic surgeon, wow, that's a mouthful, raising their beautiful son Asher, was upended when her husband revealed a darker side. She never imagined that she would end up back in her sleepy New Hampshire hometown, living in the house she grew up in and taking over her father's beekeeping business. Lily Capanello is familiar with do-overs too. When she and her mom relocate to Adams, New Hampshire for her final year of high school, they both hope it will be a fresh start. And for just a short while, these new beginnings are exactly what Olivia and Lily need. Their paths cross when Asher falls for the new girl in school, and Lily can't help but fall for him too. With Ash, she feels happy for the first time, yet she wonders if she can trust him completely. Then one day, Olivia receives a phone call. Lily is dead and Asher is being questioned by the police. Olivia is adamant that her son is innocent, but she would be lying if she didn't acknowledge the flashes of his father's temper in Ash. And as the case against him unfolds, she realizes he's hidden more than he's shared with her. Mad Honey is a riveting novel of suspense and an unforgettable love story and a moving and powerful exploration of the secrets we keep and the risks we take in order to become ourselves. Looks incredible, and I feel like it'll be a great first start to reading one of her books. And then I also got some book mail. This is a book that actually was just released, and I recently read a book by this author and liked it. I feel like it gave true summer vibes. Oh my god, these are so hard to get open. But that's why I wanted to buy this, and I got this from bookshop.org, and I gave the proceeds of this purchase over to Our Town Books, which is a bookstore that's like not far from me. And I got Same Time Next Summer, and this is by the author who wrote Nora Goes Off Script. Literally looks kind of like the same type of cover. And the author is Annabelle Monaghan. And on the back it says, Sam's life is on track. She is the perfect doctor, fiance, Jack. His strict routines are a good thing, really. A great job in Manhattan, unless they fire her, and is about to tour a wedding venue near her family's Long Island beach house. Everything should go to plan. Yet the minute she arrives, Sam senses something is off. Wyatt is here. Her Wyatt. But there's no reason for a 30-year-old engaged woman to feel panicked around the guy who broke her heart when she was 16, right? Yet, being back at the beach, hearing notes from Wyatt's guitar float across the night air from next door, as if no time has passed, Sam's memories come flooding back. The feel of Wyatt's skin on hers, their nights in the treehouse, and the truth behind their split. Sam remembers who she used to be, and as Wyatt re-enters her life, their connection is as undeniable as it always was. She will have to make a choice. This looks so good! And her other book was super easy to read. So these are the two books that I got. Really excited to read these. Gonna add these to my TBR. But I think I'm gonna have to pick up the vlog tomorrow and do some more reading, because literally I read 45 minutes today, and like it's gonna take us a month to get through like this 24-hour reading challenge if I'm only doing like 10 minutes here, 20 minutes there, 5 minutes here, 1 minute here. So we're gonna like read a big chunk tomorrow. I just know it.
What if the world had more of your smile? What if the wind could spread your love? What if your sweetness could reach everyone? There'd be no wars. Maybe the birds will sing about your heart. Maybe the trees will whisper the word. Maybe the sun will spread your joy to the ones who lost their hope. Fill my head with roses. I can't help but dream
I literally thought I was gonna read so much today, and the timer has not even changed. I had such a busy day, and I could easily start over this vlog because obviously this is the second day and I think I've only read like 45 minutes, but I'm definitely keeping this in because for one, I always love just showing you guys everything and like the real raw and all of that, but I also think this is a good reminder that like life like gets in the way sometimes of what we enjoy, and we have to really be intentional to like make time for it. And today I woke up this morning super early and I went to like back to Champaign, Illinois, which is like an hour and a half from here, which is where I was yesterday. And while I was there today, I worked from a coffee shop all day, and then I took my lunch break and went to an art gallery. I kind of wanted to mix it up today. I thought about reading, but I only had like a short hour, so I was like, let me try like doing something different. And the art gallery was incredible. It was free. And I was like, they don't have this in my town. But after that, I immediately went to a park because I was like, oh, I'm gonna work outside for a little bit. And right when I sat down, probably like 15 minutes in, while I was working on my laptop, I got a text saying that Bane's chemo was done and he was ready to be picked up. So, or not his chemo, he had chemo yesterday, but today he had to get like a little skin tag thing taken off. Anyway, I obviously drove 3 total hours today, 3 total hours yesterday, trying to fit in my work within that time, trying to like meet deadlines and things. And I don't know if I've shared this, but like I'm a full-time creator, and my like most of my campaigns are over on Instagram. And so a lot of what I'm editing and working on and stuff is over on Instagram. And I don't know, a lot of the time I like just feel like so grateful, and it feels like it's just a dream that I have this career. But with my career, just like any other career, like you have to still prioritize time for yourself, and like reading and like, you know, doing puzzles and flying kites or just watching the sunset or whatever. Sometimes those come on the back burner because I'm not a booktuber. I make booktube videos here on YouTube, but like on every other platform, I share like bits and pieces about books, but I share like more about like self-love and stuff. Anyway, long story short, I still, like so many other people, have to like prioritize time for myself. And today I didn't really do that. And I'm probably gonna read for a little bit more tonight, or not a little bit more, I haven't read it all. I'm gonna read for a little bit tonight. I still am on the same book. I'm on, I think I Might Love You. It's really good so far. I haven't gotten like super into it. I literally have only read 45 minutes. But after this, I'm gonna jump into Daisy Hates. I have a full weekend that's like completely open. I have plans with my friend tomorrow. We're gonna like go play tennis with her and her husband and do like a double date. And then I'm hanging out with Taylor on Sunday. We're gonna go to a strawberry patch and then going to brunch with my friend Sunday afternoon. So I guess I do have a lot of plans. But other than that, just reading. So I'm hoping that I can get some time for myself. I took a nice long shower. I'm wearing this super cute robe. And I'm just relaxing. So anyway, this is just a reminder to you to make sure to take time for yourself. And if you're watching this and you haven't today, maybe take 10 minutes to go do something that you love. And like I said, I didn't necessarily prioritize time for myself, but now thinking back, I did. I went to the art gallery and I went for a short time. It wasn't obviously a super long time, but it was on my lunch break. And I feel like because I make a point to really soak in every minute of every day, and each day I like try to do something that I love, sometimes I forget like, oh, like that is something that you were intentionally doing just because I do it so often. But today books was not included in that. So it will be tomorrow, and I'm gonna read a little bit tonight, just not a ton. I'll probably read for like 30 minutes or something. But yeah, I'll catch you guys tomorrow, and we can do a little bit more reading and hopefully some relaxing and just soaking up the rest of this fun challenge. I don't think I vlogged or read anything at all yesterday, and I have been reading today, but just not a ton either. I think I actually read less on the weekends. Like I feel like I'm coming to realize that like I pack my weekends with stuff with friends, and during the week I read at 5 a.m. when I wake up, and then I read a lot in the evening. And I don't know, during the week I just am so busy with friends. I just like, I read, but not as much as I think I like do in my head. Like I feel like I think I read so much over the weekend, and I just read more during the week. But yesterday we went out on the boat like all day and didn't like hardly read anything. But I did end up finishing I Think I Might Love You. This book is so cute, and I actually ordered the rest of the series. I'm going to tell you guys the ratings of all the books once I'm finished with them, but this book is really good. Christina C. Jones just does a really good job of making the characters feel very real, and she makes like the banter and like their like jokes and stuff, like the way they talk to each other, they sound like actual people, and I feel like sometimes authors have a hard time with that. It is shorter, it's like 135 pages I think, and I always say that if you're 133 pages, and I always say if you're in a book slump or kind of feeling like you're in one, pick up a novella like this, because when you finish this super fast, you're not gonna, I don't know, it just will get you back into reading. So I finished that. I also am at 6 hours and 40 minutes, and I feel like that is a lot less than I thought I would have been at by now, but also a lot more because I haven't really read much at all, like in the last few days. I started Wahala, which I am on chapter 16, and this book is really good as well. I really, really like the friends in this book. They're all people that I love but also can't stand at the same time, and the characters are very realistic in a sense that like sometimes I feel like authors will try to make you like certain people and try to make you hate certain people, especially in friend groups, and the author did not do that. I feel like every character has like very likable traits but also lots of traits that you would hate, and I'm really enjoying this. I feel like the ending of this is a little predictable, like I kind of feel like I know what's coming, but it still is really enjoyable so far. And the next book that I'm about to start is Daisy Hates. I haven't read anything from the Magnolia Parks universe in a while, but if you guys have been following for a while, you know I rated that book 4.5 stars. I love that book, so I'm excited to hop back into this world. I'm also reading Layla by Colleen Hoover, and I forgot to grab that book. But I don't know if I'm gonna finish that in this vlog, because honestly that book is like, I'm just not really like into it. Again, I like to read 3 books at once, so the 3 books that I'll be reading are Wahala, Daisy Hates, and Layla. And I just finished this one. But I will let you know if I end up like reading more of that book, and I'll, in my next like update, I will give you guys like a little recap of where I am with that book. But anyway, this is where we're at, so let's get back into reading.
Dancing while the spring's still here. They don't make haste cause they know what's coming. We try to wash away our broken years, but it's so hard in the cold summer.
There's rarely a time that I go outside to read and don't enjoy it, and today was no exception. I loved reading out there. I am at 11 hours and 26 minutes, as you guys can see. I've been breezing through these books. Right now, I am on page 33 of Daisy Hates, and I forgot how much I love this series. Like, if you just love like drama, love like toxic relationships, like messy like groups of friends, if you like the Gossip Girl vibe where they're like rich and famous and like flying around doing crazy things, you have to read this whole series. It's so good. I just forgot how much I loved it. And then in Layla, I'm on page 163. So I'm about halfway through because I think it gets to, yeah, it's 290 pages. This book is weird. Like, I was not expecting to read like a paranormal type book. So it's just a very like, it's such a weird book, and I don't even know how to like rate this because it's so different than what I was expecting. I don't even know how it's gonna end. Like, I literally have no idea. So I don't even know how I'm gonna rate this because I am not really enjoying it because I don't really like paranormal books, and I just feel like it's way out of my realm of like enjoyment, but I am finding that I want to figure out what happens at the end. So maybe the ending will like really make me like this book. I don't know. I just am not obsessed with it right now. And then Wahala by Nikki May. I am at chapter 18, page 205. And this goes to page 200, page, not 200, page 366. So I'm about halfway with this one, or a little bit more, and a little bit more than halfway of this one. And I just started this one literally last night after I finished the other book that I showed you guys. So yeah, I've just been breezing through these books. These are also good. I think I'm gonna take a bath. I've just been needing to like relax and chill out, and I'm finding that whenever I'm getting stressed, it's usually because I'm not giving myself enough time to relax and rest, and like my mind and my heart, my spirit, soul is just all like frantic feeling. And so I need to do some things to just like calm me. And again, I feel like whenever I start to get stressed, I start thinking like, oh, like I wish I could take a vacation. Like I want to relax so badly, but then I have to remind myself that I am the person who gets to decide when I rest and when I don't. And when I am choosing, because it is a choice, when I'm choosing not to rest and I'm putting something above my rest, which I feel like if I need rest, I shouldn't be doing that. But when I'm choosing not to do that, I'm making that thing more important than my own like relaxation and what my body needs. And so I'm trying to remind myself that like the dishes are not more important than what my body is telling me that it needs. It is okay to rest, not just okay, it is needed to rest, or I am in need of rest and I deserve rest. And so I'm just trying to remind myself of that. But I think I'm gonna take a little bath and read Daisy Hates. Again, I've been really loving this book now that I've hopped back into this series. But I also feel like I'm probably gonna finish one of these today since I'm about halfway through. So yeah, I'll keep you guys posted, but let's go take a little bath, and then after that, I'll probably pick out the next book that I'm gonna read.
Searching for something that ain't lost. Have we got our lines crossed? We're wasting time on stuff that doesn't really matter, while wishing for something better. I try to fix things that weren't broken, misunderstandings and words unspoken. We fall apart, and I won't dare to say.
I ended up getting some books while I was in Walmart, and before I show you guys what I got, I want to show you guys the timer and where I'm at with my reading. It's Tuesday now, and we have been reading for 16 hours and 5 minutes, and we're getting pretty close to being finished. Let's see if this can focus, because I feel like I have not focused on this at all, so you guys can barely even see it half the time. But we're getting pretty far, and I have been reading Daisy Hates. I just got my eyebrows done in Walmart, and so I wanted to also look at the books while I was in there. But while I was in line, I was reading Daisy Hates, and one thing that I've been doing a lot lately is reading instead of like being on my phone, like if I'm waiting in line or something like that, and it has been very, very nice. Sometimes people kind of give me like looks like, why? Like, what are you doing? Like, it's only like 5 or 10 minutes and you're gonna be waiting, and I'm pulling out my book. But I feel like it's so nice to do something different than like being on my phone, because a lot of the time I'm like scrolling and not doing anything, or I'm like looking through emails when it's like I don't need to be working right now. So I've been reading Daisy Hates. But let me show you guys the books that I got. I love going into Walmart for books because I feel like they have books that I don't really see very often. And the first book that I got is Only Love Can Hurt Like This by Paige Toon. And on the front it says, an earth-shattering secret, a life-changing love story. And on the back it says, when Rin realizes her fiance is in love with someone else, she thinks her heart will never recover. On the other side of the world, Anders lost his wife 4 years ago and is still struggling to move on. Rin hopes that spending the summer with her dad and stepfamily on their farm in Indiana will help her heal. There, amid the cornfields and fireflies, she and Anders cross paths and their worlds are turned upside down again. But Rin doesn't know that Anders is harboring a secret, and if he acts on any feelings he has for Rin, it will have a serious fallout for everyone. So I'm really excited to read this. It says, an unforgettable love story with an earth-shattering secret at its core that asks the question, is love worth risking everything for? And then the other book that I got is Red, White, and Royal Blue. I actually decided to pick this up, and I haven't really wanted to pick it up because honestly, it's giving very much like I'm obsessed with the USA vibes, just like the cover, and you guys know it's just like not my vibe. So I've looked at this book again and again and again, and I'm like, I have heard great things about it, but imagine me sitting here reading this, you know, it gives like, I am obsessed with this country, and y'all know like this country has a lot of things to work on. So sometimes I feel like that is not really my vibe a lot of the time, and I've kind of held off on reading this book for a while because of that. But I really love watching Natalie Lawyer's YouTube videos, and she talked about how much she loves this book. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna pick it up. And I picked up Imogene, obviously, from her rec as well, and that is on my TBR, and I showed that in my recent book haul. So I just was like, you know what? She has really good recs. She and I feel like similar books. So I picked this up. On the back it says, what happens when America's first son falls in love with the Prince of Wales? So it sounds like they're on like opposite, like maybe sides of like politics or whatever. That was another reason I didn't want to pick it up, because I was like, politics. But I feel like I've just heard so many good things about this book. It says, when his mother became president of the United States, Alex Claremont Diaz was properly cast as the American equivalent of a young royal. Handsome, charismatic genius. His image is pure millennial marketing gold for the White House. There's only one problem. Alex has a beef with an actual prince, Henry, across the pond. And when the tabloids get a photo involving an Alex-Henry altercation, U.S.-British relations take a turn for the worse. Heads of family and state and other handlers devise a plan for damage control. Stage a truce between the two rivals. What at first begins as a fake Instagrammable friendship grows deeper and more dangerous than either Alex or Henry could have imagined. Soon, Alex finds himself hurtling into a secret romance with a surprisingly unstuffy Henry that could derail the presidential campaign and upend two nations. It raises the question, can love save the world after all? Where do we find the courage and the power to be the people we're meant to be? And how can we learn to let our true colors shine through? So I just feel like this is going to be a good book. On the back it says, absorbing, hilarious, tender, sexy. This book had everything I crave, and that's what Christina Lauren wrote, who wrote Love in Other Words. You guys know I'm obsessed with that book. So I picked up both of these, and then I also picked up just some turtles, which I like love getting turtles. So yeah, let's head home. I'm going to read some more of Daisy Hates, and I finished Layla, and I will give you guys my review of that later. Again, I wake up at 5 a.m. to read, so I always like read a little like chunk in the morning. I feel like that's when I read the bulk of like my reading, but yeah, let's head home and do some more reading.
You look at me like I'm crazy when I shut my feelings out. You look at me like I'm different, still you stay cause you feel something real. Get so lost in my moments, doesn't mean I don't need you. I fell in love with your colors, they kinda tell me what I'm thinking. I fell in love with the way we are and the way we lose it. There's something different about us, and the reason why we stay. We fly around like paper planes, they never know where we will fall. Nobody can see us, still they wanna tear
us apart. There's something different about the way we are. There's something different about us. There's something different about us. We're pouring cup after cup after cup. Yeah, it's just the way we do it. Anything just to block out the real life, real life. Yeah, we're loving the way they think we're so messed up. Even if what we're doing is bad, there's so many emotions. Sharing stories that we never had.
Some book mail ended up coming in, which is so exciting because I literally just bought books at Walmart and now I'm getting book mail. So this first package, I'm pretty sure is from bookshop.com. Just kidding, it's from Target. This is the time when I could use my box cutter. I swear, me and this box cutter, like anytime I need it, I don't even think to get it, even when I have like a big box of books. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for this one. So I ended up getting The Worst Best Man by Mia Sosa because I picked up The Wedding Crasher and you guys were like, no, you gotta read the first book first. And this is, I guess, the first book in the series. It's called The Worst Best Man, and on the back it says, "You are cordially invited to witness the worst best man get what he deserves. A wedding planner left at the altar." Yeah, the irony isn't lost on Carolina Santos either. Carolina? But despite that embarrassing blip from her past, Lena's offered an opportunity that could change her life. There's just one hitch. She has to collaborate with the best, make that worst man from her own failed nuptials. Marketing expert Max Hartley is determined to make his mark with a coveted hotel client looking to expand his brand, but then he learns he'll be working with his brother's whip-smart, stunning, absolutely off-limits ex-fiance, and she loathes him. Soon, Lena and Max discover, oh wait, I just skipped that. If they can nail their presentation without killing each other, they'll both come out ahead, except Max has been a public enemy #1 ever since he encouraged his brother to jilt the bride, and Lena is ready to dish out a little payback of her own. Soon, Lena and Max discover animosity may not be the only emotion creating sparks between them. Still, this star-crossed couple can never be more than temporary playmates because Lena isn't interested in falling in love, and Max refuses to play runner-up even to his brother ever again. And the cover looks so freaking cute. You can see that's what it looks like, by Mia Sosa. And I've never read anything of hers, but again, you guys told me I cannot read her other book until I read the first book. And let me open this because I don't actually know if this is a book or not. I know that other one is, but I ordered a bunch of packages. Like I ordered some pins and markers and things because I've been trying to get back into doing things that I did as a child. Okay, this is a book. Oh my gosh, this came so fast. I literally just ordered this. This is called Somebody That I Used to Know by Dana L. Davis, and it looks like such a good book. It says, can she forgive and forget and fall in love? Dylan Woods hadn't seen her best friend Langston in years. After he moved to Los Angeles, he ghosted her. Then he became legendary, the biggest teen R&B artist on the planet. For the most part, Dylan has moved on with her sights set on Juilliard, but when her parents announce that Langston is coming for a short stay with him, the entire family is thrilled, except for Dylan. The idea of sharing a house with music's biggest bad boy makes her stomach churn, but maybe Langston hasn't changed as much as Dylan thought. He's kept the bucket list they made together years ago. As they start checking off items on the list, Dylan starts to remember old times, her previous self, and their shared love of music. And there's something else. As Dylan considers giving Langston another chance, she starts to realize that maybe her feelings for him go beyond friendship. Maybe, just maybe, she's falling for her ex-best friend. Oh my gosh, and this is by Dana L. Davis. Wow. I am so excited to read this. It just looks like such a good book. Again, black people are on the cover, I'm buying it. And then the last book, I actually ordered 2 more books, but I don't think they'll be here until like Friday, so you'll have to see that in my next vlog. But they came today. Oh my God, I had no idea. I didn't think they were gonna be here today. So I told you guys the other day that I loved the book by Christina C. Jones that was called I Think I Might Love You. So I bought the rest of the series, which is, the second book is I Think I Might Need You by Christina C. Jones, and I Think I Might Want You by Christina C. Jones. So let me read the first one. Joya Love is all about, well, Joya. Her primary interests right now are how creative she can get with her video camera, how much weight she can bench press, and her social media brand. A man doesn't even factor into her top 5. Especially not Theodore Graham, the ex-boyfriend committed to becoming her next boyfriend. Teddy's charm and funny demeanor aren't limited to his videos, and he's fully prepared to put all the stops to rekindle their college romance. In the midst of a shocking revelation, Joy is just trying to process it all, while Teddy is trying to secure his place at her side. She may not want to replay with Teddy, but as it turns out, she might need him after all. I Think I Might Need You is book 2 in the Love Sisters novella series, and this is book 3. It says Gemma Love, and this is like all about 3 sisters. Gemma Love is beholden to no one and wants nothing more than to keep it that way. She's built a lifestyle around the things she enjoys most. Traveling, good food, and good company. She doesn't need anything else. Except Levi Anders throws a bit of a wrench in those plans. He just might be the perfect complement to Gemma's way of life. And he's definitely not shy about making his intentions clear. He wants a place in her world and wants her in his. Simple, right? Maybe. It's one thing to want something and something else entirely to accept it. I Think I Might Want You as a novella and the final installment in the Love Sisters series. So again, I rated the first book. Well, I'm not gonna tell you guys because I think I actually read it in this video. But I will tell you whenever we get to the end of this video. We're almost done, obviously. But I ended up literally buying these 2 books right after I finished it because I loved it so much. So I'm excited to read the rest of the series. So all in all, I got so many books today. Oh my gosh, I had no idea that I was gonna be getting so many. I have 4 books here, and then I obviously got the 2 when I was at Walmart. Anyway, let's read a little bit more, and then I'll show you guys the next book that I have added to the list of books that I've started, because I'm still reading Wahala. I finished Layla, and I am still reading Daisy Hates, but I added in 1 more, and I'll tell you guys that whenever I finish reading a little bit more. It has taken me I think full week or like a little over a week to finish this challenge, but I finally finished it, and you guys really got to see like a true view of what it looks like when I read in a week, because even though this was a 24-hour challenge of reading, I definitely just kind of read like I normally do, and so you guys kind of got to see like how much I read in a week. If you guys do want a video like that, because I feel like you guys are always asking like how do you read so much, if you want a video of like how I just typically read in a week, I can make like a video like that, and I can share how much I read, like pages and time lengths and things like that if you would be interested in that. But I finished 4 books in this challenge, and I feel like I definitely got through not necessarily a lot more than I expected, but I got through some good books. And the first book that I finished is I Think I Might Love You, and I really like this book. I can't remember what I actually rated this book. Let me grab my phone so you guys can see my Goodreads. But I actually finished this book pretty early on in this challenge, and I really like this book. I love Christina C. Jones's writing. I feel like it's so good, and she's just like an incredible author. I also feel like this book was a novella, but it like definitely had a full span of like a storyline, and I feel like sometimes novellas don't have that. So I didn't feel like I was really lacking anything with this book. And if you are in a book slump, I definitely encourage you to pick up a novella, because I feel like whenever I pick up novellas, I just instantly am like, I don't know, back into reading. I rated this book 4 out of 5 stars, and again, I love this so much. And her writing is just really good. If you like Kennedy Ryan's writing, where you just kind of get hooked immediately, I feel like you'll really like hers. I definitely think that as a Black woman, the way that they communicate in this book was very much like connected to my culture. Like, I don't even know how to explain it, because it's not like there was any like specific vernacular used, but just the way that they communicate was very Black, and I love that. And then I think the next book after that I read was Layla. And this book is by Colleen Hoover, and I actually haven't read a Colleen Hoover book in a while. I used to be super obsessed with her writing, and I still am, but I have definitely gotten into a ton of other authors that I also love, and I rated this book 2 stars. This book was a little weird to me, because this book is definitely like a supernatural theme, and I don't really like reading anything that's like supernatural. I just have never been one to be like super into it. So the supernatural part of it I wasn't obsessed with. I also feel like it was very weird that we had to empathize with a guy who is literally keeping his girlfriend hostage, and you learn that like literally at the like first page of the book. But I just had a hard time sympathizing with him, because even though the reason he was doing it kind of made sense, I still was like, you're still keeping someone hostage. So I don't know, this was 2 stars. The writing of Colleen Hoover is really easy to read, but just the storyline I was not obsessed with. I just was very much over it and ready to finish it shortly after I started it. And then the next book that I read was Wahala by Nikki May. This book was a hefty girl. This book was, let's see, about almost 400 pages, 360 or 70, yeah, 372, 3, 4. And I finished this book and rated this 3 stars. This was a very cute story. I really liked the friendships in this book, and I feel like I would have rated this book higher if I connected more with the characters. I just didn't really like any of them. They all were kind of like selfish, but I do think they were very realistic, and I feel like sometimes authors will write characters to be like too good, or they'll write them where one character is good and then other ones are bad, and like as a reader you kind of know like the ones you're supposed to like. I feel like a lot of these characters were very unlikable but very realistic, and I think it's a good view of just like how nuanced people are in their lives, and like how you can be a good person but not necessarily do good things or have like good intentions sometimes. And the friend group in this was just really good. I was able to keep up with the storyline very easily. I like that one. And then the last book that I finished was Anxious People by Friedrich Bachmann, and I feel like so many of you guys are going to hate my review of this book, but I literally rated this 1 star, and I know so many of you guys love this book. I know it. I know you guys love this book, but I don't know what in the Wes Anderson film this book was. It literally was giving Wes Anderson. Like, if you've seen like Fantastic Mr. Fox, like just those quirky like types of movies, this is giving that. And I didn't really get the humor. The humor wasn't super funny to me, and I think parts of it were supposed to be funny. I also didn't really feel like it was realistic at all. Like the things that were happening in this book, I'm like, there's no way that this would happen in real life. And I think it was supposed to kind of be fantastical, but I also feel like unless I'm reading like a magical realism type of book, I want a book to be somewhat realistic, and it didn't feel very real to me. I do really think that the quotes in this book, like this book is very quotable, but I also didn't like that because I feel like the author was trying so hard to make this book be like that book that people are obsessed with, and like that they want to annotate and they want to like quote and all those things. Do I think that this would make a good show? Because I know it's coming to Netflix. Yes, I think that this could be done very well. And I feel like seeing it, it could be a little bit better than reading it. But reading it, it was extremely chaotic, and there were so many characters in this. I think there were like 8 different characters, and you got like tons of different backstories. You got tons of different voices, which I had a hard time keeping up with. And I also feel like the characters were just so weird. Like, I didn't feel like anyone in this book was like even remotely normal. They just seemed so quirky that it was like the author was trying to make them quirky. If you like this book, I feel like you'll like the book Kitchens of the Great Midwest. I actually rated that a lower rating as well, but I think that this writing is just not my type of writing. I just don't enjoy it, but I can see why someone would like it. So I'm not like, you know, saying that because I like this book, like you're dumb or anything for liking it. Like, everyone has their own taste, and I see why people like it. I just personally did not enjoy it. I don't know if I'll read anything from him again. I just was bored a lot of the time. I feel like there wasn't enough dialogue. I also feel like the author was kind of just like, I wonder if this author had like a journal and just like wrote a bunch of stuff, like their own stream of consciousness and like their random thoughts, and then just decided to put it into a book. Like, that's what it felt like sometimes. So anyway, I was not obsessed with this book, but I read lots of books this week. I didn't really find any super high ratings. I did rate this one 4 stars, which I feel like is a very good rating for me, and then the rest was pretty much average or below average. But if you guys want more videos like this where I share like what I read in a week and things like that, let me know. I love doing like longer vlog style videos. They're some of my favorites, and I feel like you guys like them too. So make sure to subscribe, because there's new videos on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. So see you guys next week for our video on Tuesday. Bye guys.